own reparation fight. We've been fighting for lineage, not race. Your enslavers is not our enslavers.
Okay, go on.
Because you immigrated over here, respectfully. Should no one come to the United States and mess with our burial sites? We would never go to your country and mess with your ancestors' burial sites. You don't think that's disrespectful?
So is that something that actually happened?
That's what Ghana did. They dug up the bones. They recast them in some Ghana kente cloth and with some caskets, and they reburied them, and they had a whole ceremony at a Negro burial site that Bush renamed to African burial sites.
And wasn't that Ghanaian people? Their people?
No, they was not Ghanaian people. Ghana was not even named Ghana into the late hundreds, 1901. Ghana got full colonized. Black Americans was emancipated in 1865.
Guys, stop the screen. Let's get the light. Okay, but why sweet? Well, then why is it that Ghana or Africa cannot fight for the greatness?
Why
for the
would we need someone? It would be the same as we getting a European to talk to us about our reparation. Why would we need people who sold slaves, who had slavery way before the European got involved, to come? They never came and helped us fight for our freedom. They never came over to help us fight for our civil rights. Why would we need them to come over and fight for or request for our reparation for they can only get some too? What did people from Ghana do to ask for the international reparation? How is they fights the same as the Negro fight in the United States?
Okay.
Can I answer?
Yeah, go on.
There's a few stars, like for instance, what's his name? Mr. Harvey, Steve Harvey, found his roots in Ghana. Hold on. Can I answer the question, please? Please, respectfully.
Okay, do you know what marks are?
Respectfully, let me answer you. Mr.
Please don't get attitude because I can go.
No, you got an attitude. You came with it. I'm saying this now. Steve Harvey traced his lineage to Ghana. What's his name? This well-known preacher, Pastor Jakes, Reverend Jakes, traced his ancestry to Ghana. And so Ghana was the number one trade slave capital of the world with Nigeria and all the other countries around. That's history. So for you to come up here and want to denigrate Ghana, you're disrespectful. You're disrespectful to the African Foundation that started the transatlantic slave trade, started in Ghana. And you could go and
excuse me, what did I say to denigrate Ghana? Could you please repeat me?
God to say.
No, you said that I denigrated Ghana.
I'm trying to say that whatever they did, it was nothing substantial. I'm listening.
Oh, no. So did you listen to the president when he spoke? Because I don't recall him speaking about the enslavement. He mentioned enslavement in Bahamas. He mentioned enslavement in Jamaica. But when he got up there and told the story, he talked about like he knew about the enslavement in the United States of America. We had 3 territories. Which territory would you like to visit today? Would you like to talk about the French territory, the Spaniard territory, or the British territory? Because that's one thing. And then he said that the Europeans built those castles. Well, those castles was already built before the Portuguese, and it was built in the 1400s, not the 1500s. Then he said at the beginning of his speech that it was 12.5 million Africans that left out the transatlantic slave trade. And then at the end of the speech, he said it was 15 million. Then he over-exaggerated on how many transatlantic slaves came into the United States. How did you go from 388 to 500,000? All this was done for financial gain. Because why lie when the truth is already written? That when you lie, you're offending the people that went through it.
Guys, stop the screen.
We all went through because slave did.
He was talking about American slavery, United States of America. He kept on referring to the people, the chattel slavery in the United States of America. The chattel slavery was not in Ghana. Ghana did not even stop selling slaves to 1901. In 1904, Black Americans had their first Negro to run for president, George Edwin Taylor. What? We had the National Negro Party in 1901. Why would we need somebody from Ghana to speak about our reparation? We are the people.
No, you only the original people if you originated from Africa.
We are the people from this land. We are the people that went to Jim Crow. We are the people that got G-side. We are the people that got lynched. We are the people that slept in swamps. We are the people that got our children got fed alligator. We are those people. We're not coming to the Caribbean islands and trying to step over your reparation fight. We're not going to your African leaders and telling them that they owe you. You're literally coming to the United States where the UN was founded by a Negro and you don't even know his name, and y'all asking for international reparation.
That doesn't matter.
I'm proud of the United States.
All the nations that are signatories.
It got started. Why is it hard for you? Why is it hard for you? Why is it hard for you to give credit where credit due? You heard that I said, you heard that a Negro started it, and you mad about that. Are you mad that a Negro started the United Nations? Are you mad that a Negro have founded the United Nations? Do you know why?
Fine, but what I'm saying is,
why do that hurt your feelings anytime you hear that a Black American did something instead of giving props and you think there's supposed to be some allyship? That literally hurt your feelings that a Negro named Ralph Bush started the UN, helped found the UN. Why? It's very current why. But yet he was helping out Africa again, bringing attention to what was going on in the continent of Africa. He won the Nobel Peace Prize.
One at a time. One at a time.
Huh?
One at a time. Okay, wait. Let's give two. All right. So one at a time. Let's do this. Let's give Too Sweet a chance. Too Sweet, you just step in for your gift. How are you doing, Too Sweet?
Oh yeah. Hey, how are you guys? The whole panel. How are you all?
Doing good. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to tell you guys. I've been listening to several lives about this same conversation. I am 100% behind the African president coming and doing what he did. I'm a Black American. And let me tell you why I feel like that before anybody goes in on me. The reason why I feel like that is because right now, as a Black American in America, we don't have anyone stepping up for us right now. Right now, we've been fighting the reparations fight since I've been alive. And right now, we don't have any leaders. When I say leaders, people who are speaking specifically about the Black American fight. Nobody is doing it. And we know that this administration is not going to do it.
That's not true. We have meetings every month. What city and state you live in?
I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And
are you a people emancipated from this land?
No, we're not.
So why would our reparation meeting be for an immigrant person who came over? This is a lineage base, and this is the problem that we're having. Please understand that our reparation is not for every Black person in the United States of America. The reparation that we're fighting for is lineage based, not race. Okay. You will understand that if you understand United States law, the law that your people.
You gotta first stop fighting a fight that's not. First of all,
no. Our lineage. Why is it disrespectful to you? Why is that disrespectful to you that our reparation is for Black Americans emancipated?
They're not asking for your
reparation. They talked about our story. Why didn't they not talk about your slave story?
Okay, they weren't talking about just our story. You got the first part.
Every time that president mentioned, he was talking about Black American history, the enslavement and the things that happened in the United States. He didn't talk about the things that happened. I looked at that recording 3 times. I played it on my live twice. Do you really want? I obtained knowledge. I've been a social worker for over 30 years, going on 30 years. Do you really want to?
No, you need to learn how to listen and read because you didn't comprehend. You did.
Well, I need to comprehend. You're an immigrant that came to this United States, and you think that you knew about our reparation fight. You thought you knew about the reparation fight.
You see how you say
you is melanated in America, but you're mad because my reparation is not your reparation. Your people was never slaves in the United States. You're mad. You're mad.
You talk too much ignorant.
All right.
You're mad.
All right.
You're
Okay.
ignorant. I'm knowledgeable about that, but you're stupid about that.
Okay,
You're
first of all,
ignorant. I'm knowledgeable about that. That your people was not enslaved in the United
Okay,
States.
all right, all right, all right, all right.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. So let's start with the timer. All right, so let's give South Too Sweet. You have a timer. Go on. You've been here before. Go on. Too Sweet. You're up.
yes, I've been here before. Tell me my time. Just give me a minute to tell you how I feel about the. First of all, my background is I'm a Black American. I am 100% Black American from Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised. My family is from Jackson, Mississippi. We are not immigrants. Okay, so let's start there. Second of all, when I say leaders, I'm talking about leaders that make an impact. Like, for example, a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X. People who were really like right now, Al Sharpton. People don't respect him anymore, even though he's put his work in with the fight. But what I want everybody to hear from me is the reason why I don't have any ill feelings about the Ghana president showing up and talking about naming slavery, the transatlantic, that slave trade. What occurred was one of the worst atrocities in human history. That's what they voted on. It has nothing. It wasn't necessarily about just reparations. I think what it is we got people who just want to talk about things they don't know what they're talking about. You gotta first understand, in order for them to start getting us where we need to be, you gotta first know what they're talking about, what they're trying to get accomplished. If it takes an African president to do it, because ultimately, bottom line is, we need reparations. I think our families deserve reparations. I don't think immigrants need reparations and should get it. So we're not even fighting that fight. Every Black American that I know do not agree that immigrants could even qualify for reparations if it's financial. That's not what it was about. They were just trying to, first of all, let us see that 130, I'm not even sure how many nations voted for. It's really just astounding to me that I'm hearing people say things that make no sense. If you don't want the African
skills.
No, what you need to do is shut the fuck up.
No, you're mad because you're ugly. God made you ugly on the inside and on the outside. If God didn't give you beauty on the outside, I don't expect you to be beautiful on the inside. You the one that's cussing.
All right. Okay. Guys, let's give
Your mama stupid.
let's give pay attention a chance.
You want to get disrespected back.
Let's give pay attention a chance.
Okay, first of all, you need to learn some respect.
And you need to learn some respect. How about go to college? How about get a career? How about stay on that career for over 30 years? Do something like that. How about raise some successful people in the world? How about that? How about comprehending that Ghana asked for all our genealogy, all our ancestry paperwork? They didn't ask for yours. They asked for ours. How about reading something and comprehending what you read? What all did they ask for since you know so well? You think they just asked for reparation? What all did they request in their request on text? Tell me. What all did they ask for? Why did Ghana need our ancestors' paperwork going back to enslavement? Why do people who sold slaves before the United States purchased a slave in 1619 and kept selling slaves after the United States stopped purchasing slaves and went into chattel slavery? Why do they need all our paperwork? Why do they request that?
I don't understand what she's
You don't understand because you did not read it.
I know.
And that's the thing that I'm having a problem with. People keep on calling themselves, I have a passport. George Chappelle is the one that invented the airplane. I have a passport. You was a jealous immigrant. You was a jealous immigrant.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Let me just tell you.
Let's give.
Wasn't it my time? And she interrupted my time, and then she.
Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
You haven't been nowhere. You is ghetto and an immigrant.
Pay attention a chance.
Go get it from your country that enslaved.
Let's give pay attention a
Ugly
chance.
ass bitch.
Hey, no, don't do that. All right, well, better you go. Pay attention. No cursing.
Yeah, she exactly know what is coming up. She is very ignorant. Some of these people, they just have tic-tac education. What this lady was saying here, she is perfectly right.
Which lady? The one that left?
No, this one, this Street. What Street was saying here, she is perfectly right. But these people are so bitter that they just talk out of hate. They don't even know. These people have no representation at this moment. So when this president came in, Black American, first of all, they can't even fight for reparation at this time. Under equal protection of the law, there is no way they can file for reparation. So if American rejected that they are not going to be part of this thing, it's like they are indirectly denying them reparation as well. But these people don't know these things.
Well, the problem is America's not even bringing it up. It's not even bringing it to the table.
So,
Right.
I want to just put my little bit quickly as I'm sitting and I'm in thought. What
Go on.
the president of Nigeria, of Ghana, literally did, he opened up the way. He set the platform for all Africans that were involved, African and the nation and their people that were involved in the transatlantic slave trade will have legal representation to file anywhere in the world under the United Nations vote. That's what he did. So anybody who doesn't see that is blind.
Thank
You're
you,
blind.
Vicky.
You're definitely blind. Because he just
All
opened
what
the
they
door.
was
He just opened the door that we didn't have before.
I agree. And I 100% give Ghana president, I give him full respect because he is one of those who acknowledged that even some of their own people were a part of the atrocity that occurred.
Yeah.
He acknowledged that. And I'm not giving an excuse for it. It shouldn't have happened at all. But
Exactly.
we live in America, and our people who run our country, they haven't
Enslaving
mentioned.
us too, yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, even if it takes an African president to start the train, to get the train out of the train house, to get the car moving, I am all for it. Because bottom line is reparations need to be addressed because other backgrounds are getting reparations right now from all over the world. We want to call them the richest people. We're calling them that because they're getting reparations from all over the world and they've been getting it for years. Let's call it what it is.
so if America do acknowledge the fact that what they did is there is no way they can pay reparation. You have to accept that what you did to these people, it's a crime.
Yeah.
Before they can proceed of paying reparation, but they don't want to do that. They don't want to accept those things.
Don't worry them. And the vote already gone against them. The majority wins. Listen to me, in the House and the Senate, the majorities get the aye. So, United Nations, there is only 3 abstain and the rest clear the vote. So, it doesn't matter what America says or does. They are guilty of slavery. So, end the story. End the story.
Let's give Vicky a chance, Vicky.
Oh, okay. Hi, good afternoon. I actually have a different perspective. I do appreciate the president of Ghana, but I also understand the Black Americans' point of view. I think that their fear is if you don't really know somebody and this person is coming in trying to represent you, when what you do know is on the continent, they still have people who are going through slavery. So the point would be, why would you think that this person is going to come and really fight for you when on the continent we have people who are still getting enslaved? And I think that it makes Black Americans, because of all that we've been through, are skeptics. And so I think that would make them insecure. I also think that reparations is not just about finances. There are people in Black America who've been getting their lands back that's been taken. We've had a lot of, and I don't think that the reparations necessarily has to go back for slavery. I think about our cities that were bombed, our homes that were bombed, our neighborhoods. Dulles Airport was destroyed. Dulles Airport in Virginia used to be a city called Willard, where Black people thrived. Seneca Valley in New York was not Seneca Valley. Central Park in New York was a Seneca Valley, and that was destroyed. I mean, and when back in the 1980s, I remember that they bought a thing was dropped on the city of Philadelphia when hundreds of black people lost their homes there.
Yes.
And we don't talk about that. In Baltimore, they built the road to nowhere where all of those black communities were destroyed. It goes so much further than just slavery. We're talking about Black Wall Street that was destroyed. We're talking about so many cities,
I have a question.
so many places. But let me make this one point, because
that's
when I think of reparations, I don't only think about slavery. It goes back to all the thousands and thousands of homes and communities that were destroyed and never compensated for. Okay, now you can go ahead.
So you said in the continent there are countries that people have been in. You name me a country that have a functioning government that are people have been enslaved in Africa presently.
We're not saying that the government is slavery, but people from Africa have been enslaved. We have Arab people who have been enslaving Africans and stuff like that. And I know you know that. These people
No, but you said that it's slavery that is
for you.
But can I add?
We're talking about taking people. You know, people. Oh, you may not be aware of it. If you're not aware of it, you probably something you want to look into. How they have been taking Africans and enslaving them in different Arab countries and things of that nature, but that's a whole nother ball game. But I'm not saying African people are enslaving African people. That's not what I'm saying.
Right now in the United
But
States.
those countries that you're talking about, the African countries. So
I said that they were coming. No, that's not what I said. I didn't say that the African. I just said it. I did not say that African people are enslaving African people. Did you hear that?
yeah, that's what you said.
Okay. I said that they were being enslaved by who? People been kidnapped and enslaved by who? Did I say?
By their own people in the continent.
No, I didn't say that. You see, you're not listening. You got to put on your ears. I said Arab countries and things of that nature have been enslaving people. And so we all know that that's going on even right now. And so I
those countries, even those countries, let's give reference to Libya. Libya doesn't even have a stable government. So Libya is part of Africa.
Okay, we have somebody.
Let me have this one set.
Okay,
Let me have this one set.
1 minute.
In America right now, as we speak, there is slavery. A 2024 database shows that the slavery economy of America has contributed or gained in excess of $362 billion. That is people being in the workforce and are paid far less than what they work for. You look at the Asian community, earns $5.9 billion, but the annual take home is $805 million. Slavery is yet in your face, my brothers and sisters. And slavery is right here.
Okay, when you say stuff like that, it shows you don't understand what chattel slavery was about. When you're talking about being underemployed,
you just said not just about slavery. I'm saying slavery does exist in America even now, as we speak.
Okay,
the system is rigged.
I understand what you're saying.
Hold on, black community work for $56,000 a year.
Yeah.
Whites work for $90,000 a year. So that is what there. That's a grave disparity of discrimination and enslavement.
Let's give Maga a chance. How you doing, Maga?
Okay. All right.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's called underemployment, Apostle, not slavery. That's
go
called
on, Maga.
being underemployed.
Maga, you up?
Sure. I also think it's super important.
One point. When you say
hold on,
the
Vicky.
pain and suffering of my people whose children were fed to alligators.
Wait, Vicky.
Who our women were SA'd, who our men were killed, who our
Vicky.
So when you
hold that thought, Vicky. Let's give Maga a chance. Maga, go on.
I actually just wanted to point out that even though that this is...
Wait, Maga, your volume, you sound like you're underwater.
is that better?
Yeah, let's try it again.
Okay. Trump recently moved to clarify the 14th Amendment, which actually addresses at least identifying who descendants of chattel slavery are. I think that's a step. So, and he's the only one in the administration that's done that. So I think that's like a super key point. And I listened to these panels today. The only thing that I was able to get, because I am FBA on paper, but I'm MAGA for this very specific reason, because I listened to the panels today, and it was so hurtful listening to, honestly, continental Africans discuss our plight in America as descendants of slaves, as FBA, as they just really showed a lack of understanding. And I don't blame them, but it was almost hard to hear people that look like us discuss it in a manner that was very similar to the people that are here. And they both, when I was listening, they sounded the same.
Yeah.
And it was kind of offensive and really hard to hear. And it just showed me how impacted as Black Americans we are and how much different we are. It's so much bigger than money.
Yeah, Maga. I don't know what's going on with your sound, but now...
Oh, my mic is not...
Yeah, all of us.
It's just hard to hear people that look like us discuss us without the connection to the hurt or the pain.
Okay.
And then at that point, it was very difficult to see them as anything like us. It was they were literally just like the people that committed the crime to us as well.
Yeah.
It was really hard to hear.
I understand, but this is not what's happening. I understand what you mean. It's hurtful to hear other people or anybody just speak. So just basically,
like money.
Yeah. Go on, Vicky. Vicky, you up? Yeah, it is hurtful. Vicky, you were saying something earlier, Vicky.
No, I was just what he made the point that I was making. What Apostle was talking about is underemployment. And that's different from when your people are taken and they're unalive, your women are SA, your kids are fed to alligators, your hair is made to fill furniture, your people, they actually even cannibalize Africans. It was just so the atrocities that happened was so great, and to minimize all that to say it was like being underemployed because you make $56,000 a year.
And I say that alone, woman. Stop talking
You
garbage.
said that your point was that slavery still exists in America because these people make 90-something thousand. And Black people are making 56,000. That's what you said.
Because you're talking trash.
That's what you said. You made a comparison.
I just live in a talking.
You know what? I'm more intelligent than you, that I don't have to resort to name calling because I can.
All right, okay, hold on. No name calling. Apostle.
When you can't express yourself in words, you have to go resort to name.
Okay, Apostle. Okay, wait, Apostle. Okay, Vicky, Apostle. Look, let's do this. No name calling. Use your argument skill, but no name calling. If you're gonna be arguing and you're gonna be name calling the person, so which means for me you're not adding, you are just trying to create a emotional rouse. So Apostle, when you're ready to go again, you can go again. So Maga.
You can let Apostle make his point. He can make his point, but when he talks like that, everything he says go out the window because I'm a person who can take both sides of the argument and make my point. I don't have to resort to name calling because I am intelligent.
Yeah, he left, so I don't know what happened. Okay, I think he's returning. So Apostle, no name calling. Just keep it, have argument.
Let me respond to Magda because I really respect what she's saying. I'm a Black American as well. And I'm gonna talk about just the immigration.
Okay.
No, hold on. Hold on, Apostle.
Any historical.
No, wait, hold on, Apostle. Go on. Too sweet.
Okay. I was just saying I wanted to respond to Magda because I actually agree with them about. I'm a Black American, so I agree with some of the things that President Trump has attempted to do. I'm not a MAGA, but at the same time, I do know that there's a such thing as I can isolate certain bills and certain efforts separate from some of the things I do not like or that I don't appreciate. So So what hurts me with him is he'll do one thing that helps the community, and then he'll do something that doesn't help the community. So sometimes it's hard for me to give him full respect. But what I want to caution Black Americans is to let them understand that right now, we're not the target of the environment. And I know everybody can read between the lines about what I'm saying. We're not necessarily the target of what's going on right now in our country. But if it were to become that way, I would want to have me a friend in a foreign country. And I would preferably like to go to Ghana. I like Ghana. Ghana is a beautiful country. The people treat me very respectful. I've not had any problem.
Yeah.
But I also understand there are some negative preconceived notions that we got to work through. And I just want to give everybody the encouragement to try to listen to one another. We both are victims of the same problem. It's America propaganda. We're both in the same boat together. We really are.
Yeah.
We have way more in common. I know that we've heard that before, and I hate to sound cliche, but we do have way more in common if we were to just talk to each other. And maybe our Black leader that we're looking for, they may just be from one of the African countries.
Yeah.
They may be from, I'm just gonna, maybe Mr. Toure, I forgot his first name, or one of the other African leaders. They may end up being that person. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. As long as it gives me a positive outcome in my life and in my children's life. That's how I see things. But maybe I'm a number.
Too sweet, I would say that's very logical, because what about friendship? That's like, there's a lot of things that you guys can agree with. There's mutual understanding from there when it comes to understanding through certain cultural aspects that you guys can share with Ghanaian. Friendship based on a mutual benefit. That's the ultimate friendship right there. This guy say he's gonna go to Thailand. You're not gonna go to Thailand for friendship. You're going to Thailand for, what you're going to Thailand for. Okay, Maga. Okay, wait.
Very hyper focused on money.
Maga, first, you gotta fix your mic, Maga. I wanna hear you, but we cannot hear you, Maga. Let's give Apostle. Maybe Maga, maybe what you could do, you can drop down and return.
Thank you. Let me say this now. I come from a history where I worked in my country for African organizations in my country. I know the history of Africans getting placed on riprap.
Tap the screen.
Africans get their heads beheaded, placed on wood across along the highway of my country. So I know the African struggle. Nobody can come up here and educate me. I sit at tables with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, okay, who always talk about reparations and African struggle. So there's nobody to come up here and teach me anything. I don't need to know none of nobody, because I'm well read when it comes to African history, okay? But the point I'm making is that you have ingrained slavery in this country, which is necessary to address, along with reparations and everything Vicky was talking about. I'm in agreement with it. There must be itemized and a list of things that we need to go after to recover those destructive elements that came against our people and our community, whether in America, whether in Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, it doesn't matter. We suffer the same history. So let us get together and formulate a good record, register, and all that is needed, a dossier, whatever, and let us get the ball rolling. Too much talk and no action doesn't make sense. But hats off to Brother Louis Farrakhan, who has been always being a forerunner of things African and the Ghanaian president. Both of these men need to be honored for their work.
Sure.
And I land my plane there. Thank you.
Sure. Guys, like and follow. Go on, Vicky. And then we're gonna move to pay attention. Pay attention. You've been quiet.
I wanted to
Go on, Vicky. 1 minute. And
I
then
wanted to say I love Louis Farrakhan too. I'm a big supporter. I might be a Christian, but I love myself some Louis Farrakhan, always have. But Too Sweet, I wanted to say I agree with you 1000%. I actually believe that we as Black Americans in this country need to connect with strong leadership on the continent. People like Abraham Troy. I love him because he understands the game. The problem I do see that I think somebody like Abraham Troy would be a great leader because he understands things from the perspective that we as Black Americans, I hear his speech, and his speech and thinking is more in line with ours. What we would do a little bit different, I believe, is because Africa has all the resources. They actually have the ability to stand and bring their demands from a state of power because all of the world right now is looking to them for their resources. You just had a man in Israel who bought 500 acres, 500 something. He was a big Israeli guy. He bought all this land in Kenya. You have what's his name? Microsoft, Bill Gates. He was talking about this is the place people need to go. This is the hot spot now. Is Africa. Africa has the power, but they need to be honest. They need to understand how to fight and utilize their power. They just don't know how to bring the fight. I could have told you that wasn't going to go anywhere when the Ghana president went to the United Nations, because that's not how you bring the fight to this type of enemy. I'm not calling that enemy, but I'm saying this type of oppressor. It's not how you bring the fight to them. Their power is in their resources.
Miss
To
Vicky,
be honest,
are you Black American, Miss Vicky? If you don't
I'm
mind,
Black American. And I believe, and if I had my way, to be honest, I'd take every Black American and I would take our resources, go build the continent, take our intellect, take our resource, our ingenuity and creativity, and build up Africa and leave. Because in all honesty, we know for real that this country would not be popping without Black Americans.
You're right.
The greatness is achieved is because of Black Americans. And I'm like, take those thoughts, take that creativity and ingenuity to Africa.
Well, let me encourage you to do something with me, because what I've been doing today, because I've been on several lives talking about this topic, is Black Americans who say that they're not tethered to Africa, but they keep talking about reparations. You do not deserve reparations if you want to act as if you're not African in some sort. It makes no sense.
Oh, say that again.
What I am saying to you right now is that I got Black Americans talking about they deserve land and money. But then on another hand, I'm not African. I'm nothing like them. I'm looking in the comments and I'm seeing that same craziness. Okay, so if you're not tethered to Africa, then this conversation is not for you. You should actually leave the topic alone. Don't talk.
Facts.
That is funny. Well, the only reason why I don't see it that, because I don't necessarily think reparations should only be given for slavery. I also believe it should be given for all the land that was taken. You're talking about cities where they dropped the B on them.
Yeah, okay, Vicky, Vicky, let's say we agree with you. Let's say we agree with you, but it needs to start somewhere. Pay attention. You wanna chime in? Pay attention. It needs to start somewhere, right? Yeah, go on. Pay attention.
So just like what the sister was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are some of these people who said their ancestors never descended from the continent, which is fair, right? Well, according to the history of the United States, most of the people that they spoke about slavery, these are enslaved Africans who were took from the continent. They never spoke about all these groups that they identify themselves presently and all these things. Mm-hmm. They really emphasize on enslaved Africans who built the United States. But they want reparations, but they never want to accept the fact that those are their people, or they are byproducts of those people. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be part of that. They don't want to be anything part of Africa, but they want to benefit out of some of these things, which is it's very, very disgusting. Right. In relation to what the other guy was saying, I have a question that I wanted to ask about Black Americans. Black Americans, you have some of the most influential people in the world. You have, just like somebody spoke about Farrakhan and all these things. These are people who fight for Black Americans every day. But why is it Black people never appoint some of these people into offices to represent them?
Or maybe they do. We don't know about it.
Right, because the last time I checked was they was crying about somebody who was a Nigerian in Michigan that was running for office. They said, "Oh, that guy is trying to take out the Black History Month in the United States." But what they failed to know is that guy was running as a Republican candidate.
Yeah.
They never know these things.
Yeah.
He was running as a Republican candidate. So if that guy, who sent him? Republican give him the platform to run for office. So let's start there.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said. Can you say that again? You said he was a Republican running for office, and what?
No. He's a Nigerian, right? He's a Nigerian. This is how this thing goes. When these people started saying about all this African stuff, that Africans are undermining them, Africans are, putting all these things in their politics and all these things. So there is a guy in Michigan that was running for a governorship there. But this guy was running under the Republican Party. Not even the Democrats, but under the Republican Party as a candidate. So who do you think is undermining Black America? Is it the Republicans or the one African that we just put in front of that thing?
Can I address it?
Go on, Vicky.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Black American, we don't vote our color. We vote our interest. And the Republican, especially under this regime right here, the Republican Party is a fascist regime. You're not going to get Black Americans who want to vote against their own interests. In Virginia, just recently, there was a white candidate and a Black woman candidate in Virginia. And the Black woman candidate was a Republican, and the white woman candidate for governor in Virginia, she was white. And 92% of the Black people voted for the white woman, not the Black woman. It's because we don't vote our color. We vote the ones who want to give us the best benefit. And so that's why. If he's talking Republican, and right now you're talking about Republican Party has a history of transferring the wealth of the middle class to the rich. And so Black people are not going to vote for that.
I concur. I agree. Everything she just said is exactly why. We don't vote color.
Okay.
If that's the case, Kamala would be our president right now.
Okay, interesting. So, Vicky, then the question is, can't Africans represent you too? Or can they or cannot? Or they should not?
To be honest, if you look, you have to be able to understand the plight of the people that you represent. If you can't culture is the antecedent to behavior. There is a gentleman named Godfrey. He's a comedian here in America, and Godfrey is a Nigerian. But Godfrey understands Black Americans very well.
But you just said, Americans don't vote for color; they vote for their interest. So
Exactly.
you're saying that the Africans don't understand your interests?
Yeah. You have to. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Even though I have a lot of African friends, it's not because they're in my community. It's because I go into their community, and the ones who join up with us in our communities and Black communities, they have a different perspective. Now, I just wanted to say to the brother who was talking, we have like over 60-something Black members in Congress, through the states and stuff. So we do have Black representation. I don't want you to think we don't have Black representation in these different congressional houses and stuff. And as you can see on the Supreme Court, we have 2 Black people, even though we don't like to claim Clarence Thomas. He is, a Black man there. But only if they understand the culture. It's the culture that you have to understand.
Okay.
You have to. You remember a lot of black people say, "Oh, they say we don't have no culture." You have to understand the fight and the plight. And so, if you understand that, yeah, they'll vote for you.
Okay.
Just like they would vote for a white person, they would vote for you. It's about
Okay.
understanding the needs of the people you representing.
Okay.
So remember, you're the person who's going to be making choices and decisions for their lives. So you have to be able to understand their needs. You have to be able to understand their hurt. You have to be able to understand where they're coming from. And if you do that, they'll definitely vote for you.
Okay, let me ask you this then.
Let me chime in on that question real quick.
Go on.
What if I actually moved to Ghana and I ran for president? I'm a Black American. I don't know the history of the country. I don't know the history of the people. I don't know the differences in the tribes. I don't know who doesn't like who. I don't know if Ashantis or Counties are mad with each other. I have no idea. But I want to run for the president of the country. I think it's insensitive because what happens is I won't understand it. There's no way for me to understand it. So I do, sometimes when I'm listening to friends of mine, and especially, I don't know what it is about Nigerians. They are so Republican. I don't know what that is. But it's almost as if they only see things from one side. They can't really see it from the perspective of someone who has a grandmother who was a part of a sharecropping process. Like, you need to know the history in a way to kind of understand us. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying he can't represent us, but he has to put a lot of energy into understanding what's happening and where we're coming from in order to do it. And that takes a lot of effort. And it'll take a special person to do it.
Yeah, okay. I understand. That makes sense, to be honest, because how is he going to be able to represent what you guys need, what you value, what you are looking for, if you don't understand, if there's a disconnect? So there's no coherence. I understand what you guys mean. It makes sense.
Al Sharpton, from what I understand, the meeting on yesterday didn't just start yesterday. Donald President has been having these conversations for years. And this it didn't just start yesterday. So if I'm misunderstanding, Al Sharpton was there. Am I right? He was there standing next to with the Ghana president when he was making having the whole conversation. I'm going to have to pull it up and make sure. But he did his what I call due diligence, so that he can at least make sure the way he was articulating it was proper, or was it? And ultimately, he labeled it as the worst atrocity in human history. And I want people to understand what that means. That means that we have some other people that are pissed off because they feel that event was the worst human atrocity. Does that make sense? But for me, knowing the things that our people went through, because I do believe that my family are descendants of Africans. The things that I've read that our families went through, I don't even know how they even made it. Even looking back, I'm thinking, I don't know. If it were to happen today, I wouldn't be here. That would be my last day living. Yeah. That's just how I want to put it. So let's just talk about it that way. I just don't understand how people can be so insensitive. In America, they're taking down our museums. They're taking our books and our literature. They don't want the schools to teach about our history anymore because they want us to forget. But when you forget, you repeat. I want everybody to remember that statement. History repeats. When people do not understand where we went wrong in every way. And I'm not saying that white tea people that we are friends with and we are interacting with in our communities and at work are bad people. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, baby, let's not repeat what we did before. It didn't work. And it wasn't even morally correct.
Yeah. True. About, just like you said, Too Sweet, I'm seeing this article from Tuesday 24th, this past Tuesday, the 24th of March. And it's saying Al Sharpton, Brazil back President Mahama's UN initiative. So basically, yeah, he was there. They have a picture that they took together, and basically he's backing it up, to be honest.
And listen, I have heard other Black Americans say negative. If you've heard them, they'll say negative things about Al Sharpton, and I stopped them in their tracks.
Sure.
because Al Sharpton has been nothing but a voice for us in every way. A lot of people think he's kind of been, what's the word for it?
And African
sellout.
got the votes of the UN. That is so clear. Let me say this now.
Okay. So Apostle, your connection is not stable. Your connection.
Indigenous
Wait, start again.
declaration that people such as African people, the original people of the land.
No, your connection was unstable.
How did they use? Did you say something?
Your connection was unstable.
The signal is kind of bad.
Yeah. Go on. Go on.
It's not coming. It's a little bit.
It's good. You can continue.
Yeah. So I was saying that based on the United Nations, thank you. The United Nations passed a law that all indigenous people on their lands are untouchable. No government, no president, no prime minister, nobody in government can ever touch ancestral land in my nation. Because of recent as last week, there's a huge spot of land, over 10,000 acres of land that was seized by the state, and you had officials from a legal firm that went against the state
Thank you. I
and filed the
appreciate it.
United Nations Act that eliminated the hands of the government of the day to take the hands of indigenous people land, and the African people got back over 1,000 acres or more of the lands that were owned by the state. So these United Nations votes and so forth are not normal. They change the trajectory of oppression in nations around the world. So it will do a lot. As Mr. Anand got those votes, it says a lot. So I thank God for that move from the president of Ghana. I'm so happy. So happy.
Thank you, Libya, for your gift. Yes, I'll go on, Vicky. Guys, like and follow.
Apostle, what country is that?
You want to know what country? Yeah. You want to know what country?
You're talking about it's just
Vicky,
you don't have to tell me. Huh?
Vicky, you're a bag of trouble. Vicky, I'm from South America. Beautiful, oil rich South America. Like Venezuela and all of those places.
Well, which country? Don't say Argentina.
Don't say Argentina. I hope not.
You sound like a bag of trouble.
You were like voted no with America.
Vicky, you sound like a bag of trouble. You're the bag of trouble. No, I got you. You just not having fun.
Yeah, it's not Argentina, but these beautiful blue waters, I think. Yeah, but okay, I think at this point it's clear. Maybe at least what I've seen that the president and basically Ghana, a lot of different people from let's see, a lot of people actually, the president also, what was the spokesperson name? What is his name again? With Ablakwa is another person. They are trying to learn or get familiarized with Black culture in America. So at least they are making an effort. And who knows how far they will go with this effort, but if they continue with that part to try to understand the sensitivity of what, it is very important step to take for them to try to understand, okay, what plight that the African Americans really went through in order to meet their needs to the best of their abilities. I think that's the way to go about doing this. And
just do it. Just the way to go. Just the way to go.
Yeah, it's the way to go. So, any closing?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, like, because I really do. I actually fellowship with a lot of Africans, but it's different when people who are not a part of the culture, but people who are inside the culture. You have to check out Godfrey. Godfrey's, with his perspective, when he's speaking, he grew up in America. His parents, he's Nigerian. But his perspective is like a Black American's because of what he's seen and what he's experienced.
Yeah.
And he lived in the culture. So it gives him a different perspective. It's just the same way if I go to Africa, I have to go and learn. I can't make the people in Africa adapt to me. I have to adapt to, to the culture that I try to, fit myself in. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's common sense. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I understand what you mean because Godfrey, he understand he done so many skits about how African Americans or different people in America behave. So he understand the culture. He understand what you guys have been through. So he's good to connect in that way. So I understand what you guys mean because it's logical. You wouldn't want somebody to represent you and they don't know anything of what you need and they don't understand your history. It makes no sense. It's yeah, I get it. So they are
especially sometimes they have negative views towards Black American. They think we're lazy, we don't like to work, all of those things. And I don't think that is necessarily intentional, but I think that the propaganda that America puts out there just to keep us separated. The intention of it is to keep us from talking.
Yeah.
It keeps us from being friends, like we're talking about, having a conversation. Now I understand that most people who come from different countries like Ghana and Nigeria, they all are entrepreneurs because they're entrepreneurs of their own house when they come. So they get here, they're going to be entrepreneurs. That's what they know. So we have to look at it like a cultural difference without being negative towards one another.
True.
We are completely different in every way, but we are also alike. You know what I mean?
True.
I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I agree with you too, sweet. I also believe that as people, as dark melanated people like we are, I think we have to start making it our skinship. Not about tribe. That's why I'm not about. And I know I have a friend of mine, and I was like, why can't you do? He's like, Vicky, we would never unify the tribes in Africa. We tried. He said it'll never work. But if you understand what the power of unity would do, let everybody have their tribe. People don't have to identify with your tribe. They don't have to operate the same way you do. Just be accepted that this is my brother, this is my sister. That's why even as a Christian, I can love Louis Farrakhan. You know how many Black Christians love Louis Farrakhan?
Oh, yeah.
He's Muslim. And and they're Christian. But Louis Farrakhan loves Christians.
True.
Because in America, we don't have the luxury of operating, you're a Muslim and I'm a Christian, as a Black people. We don't have that luxury. And I think that if Africa understood, they really don't have the luxury of being tribal. Keep your tribe. Nobody's trying to tell you not to have your tribe, but don't let that be a barrier to coming together.
Say that again, Vicky. That's so true. Because it's like you have to think beyond all of that, beyond this whatever bridge that's actually causing you guys not you guys, but when it comes to Africans and African Americans to not connect. And you will find that you have more in common than you don't. So basically try to put your tribe aside and try to find things that you can build on in terms of creating bridges then rather than just burning them. And I find when it comes to the negative talking down on each other, it stems from a lot of just falsities. Because I've heard, when you know both sides, the truth from both sides, you realize all of it is just conversation that is being placed along the way in the middle to stop you guys from actually connecting, so you can talk about these very differences things that you dislike, things that you find that the worst of the worst, and that is what's been magnified, and that's what everybody just want to talk about, and not really focusing on the bigger picture of what actually the positivity really outweigh the negativities. Go on, Apostle.
One is that when it comes to reparations, right? From 1960 to now, or 1967 to 75 to now, the Jewish community, which I have a problem with, to say that I have a question that they are the original Jews to begin with. But they have so far collect in excess of 296 billion United States dollars, and they continue to get money reparations for healthcare, free housing, everything almost free.
Yep.
For those here and those over there. Second to that, the African people, Britain that led the slave trade, the slave Atlantic trade, they earned something like $14 trillion. This was the last figure that I able to research. Every slave owner collected 20 million pounds for their effort in slave. So if you can pay the slave owner, much more those who you have perpetuated this evil against. So it is not that we cannot or we should not look for money, because it's money that we need to have in order to build our families, protect our families, create jobs, create industry. Money comes back to the game. The problem is we need to institutionalize the money. And when we do get it, we have the knowledge, we have the skill, the know-how to build greater wealth and to keep generational wealth. The point is we need to know how to fish and keep fishing. So there is no big deal. It's all about us staying focused as a people and going after those who would have enslaved our ancestors, rob them and rape them and do all the things that they did. We have no excuse for anybody, and we should not allow anyone to tell us what we need to do and what we don't need to do. So that's what I need to say.
Yep.
And in order to unify people, what you do is you create a bigger enemy. And if we stop seeing each other as the enemy and see the bigger enemy, I think we could empower each other. I think that what we as melanated people should be looking towards doing. My grandfather, I'm an older woman. My grandmother was born in the 1920s. Okay, my grandmother was born in the 1920s. Her mother was the child of a slave. My grandmother's mother was a child of slave. People like to think that slavery was so long ago. It wasn't that long ago, okay, especially not to me.
Yeah.
But I think that if we start thinking about a way that we can build financial pipelines, if we build financial pipelines, and businesses where we can trust each other, but it's sort of honestly, and you all can help me in Super Life, you might be able to tell me and someone else, if we could get the governments in Africa to value the melanated brother or sister and see their worth as more than $1 bill, and so that they will not sell each other out. I think that would help. That's why I love Abraham Traore. I would do anything to help him. I really would. Because the value of his people life is valuable. And that's how we have to look at each other. You have value. That's what Black Americans do. My grandfather, even though he was only allowed a 4th grade education, he owned over 22 houses and 2 stores. As a Black man coming up under Jim Crow and all of those other things, he was able to do that. I'm saying we're able to do that as well. And we're able to help the people on the continent. We're able to help the other melanated people throughout the diaspora if we just do our own pipeline with each other. Build manufacturers in Africa. Employ the young people there who don't have jobs. Let them start making clothes. Let them start making the shoes. Let them be the people trying to doing all this stuff. Why can't our young people in Africa be building these things? And that way they will have low unemployment. You won't have to have. Africa would be so powerful because they have all the resources. Now you got the resources and the manufacturing. You can cut out everybody. You don't need nobody else.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I want to get your permission, Miss Vicky. I need to get your permission to use that word skin folks because I'm about to use it.
Yeah, we use skin folk.
I love that word. I love that word.
What does it mean, skin folk?
Just be melanated people. If you brown skin, we are family. We are family. Stop all that extra stuff. You're just bringing too much into it.
Yeah, Black Africa doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Black is black.
It doesn't
Black all the
matter.
time. Black all the way. Doesn't matter which part of the world you are. Once you're African, you're African. That's it.
Exactly. That's it.
I just think we need to start somewhere, and I know we've all made mistakes. So forgiving each other for the things that have gone on, but I want to offer this to the panel. Black Americans, for what we've gone through and for us to be where we are right now, like I live a good life. Okay, so from what we've been through to where we are today, I'm gonna tell you, we are very
resilient.
Yes, we are. So we have to be given that respect. And the people from other places, when they're looking at us and they're saying negative things, I'm like, why would they say something like that?
Yeah.
We literally made it. We are here. And there are some countries where skin folks or brown folks didn't make it. They didn't let the people thrive there. Even though they had slaves, they didn't let the people, like, for example, and I don't know how true that is, but, is there such thing as a brown-skinned European who's actually...
No, never can exist.
So those kind of conversations are necessary in the Black American conversations group. Like Miss Vicky, if you do set up something where we can have these conversations, it's time to educate everyone in a way that's not mean and hateful and full of things that is ill. It's like they're listening to things that are not correct.
Exactly.
And, you gotta have information and real information. Yes,
and they're getting the false information and they're going with it. It's like a lot of the time, some people just want to feel good, or they're looking for a bias. They just have their own biases and they want to confirm it. And a lot of the time, it's just like, okay, you guys have to really think about it as well. You have to really find, not just hear what the negativities, the downside of what people are telling you. Try to find what are the upsides. Because if you're listening to just the downsides and you're not finding out what are the upsides, then you don't have a balanced view about it. Okay, you don't have a balanced view about it. So let me see. No, you can't. Yeah, well, that's your life. You choose to just be unbalanced. Your choice. But again, not everybody is gonna be understanding or use their intellect to actually try to think these things through, and that's okay. If that's one thing we said earlier. If y'all don't represent us, represent your damn self. Okay, that's it's pretty narrow viewed. By the way, the oldest people were found in Verda. Okay, alright guys, like and follow. Let me see. I think we have some people who wants to step back, come by for a quick moment, because I'm gonna close the show. Let's see. Black Dot. Yeah, if you guys
and I'm gonna say this, and you can I'll let you take me down on the Bible. Before I go, I want to say this. And Too Sweet, I am working on that, because there are places that's actually developing our own Black Wall Street so that we can finance these businesses and pipelines. So just wanted to let you know that. And once I get it all together, I'm gonna follow you and I'll send you the information. They're actually it's more in America right now that's doing that to help us finance different businesses and things of that nature. But the other thing I wanted to say is, for people who don't want to move with us, you got to let it go. Do you know it's easier to pull somebody along who can run with you than a dead body? A dead body, pulling dead weight is very difficult. And so sometimes you have to let people who are just dead weight to your vision and to the goal, you just have to leave them behind. Unfortunately, everybody's not going to go to the promised land. You have to just let those who are dead stay behind, and those who want to go on to a promised land and to a better life and to more success, you have to pull them on. And that's it. You just can't take it.
Exactly. And if you're dead weight, go be amongst the dead weight, because actually you can see that, go be amongst yourselves. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree.
Just,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
Okay, we're trying to get, we're building momentum, building energy here. So if you're not going to be part of that, then you're dead weight. So, Maga, you're back again.
Chamber though, right?
Go on, Maga.
No, it's not an echo chamber, so everybody doesn't like have to agree with what's being said. Like we can give our, you want our
Go
opinion,
on, talk. It's of course not.
Okay.
Of course, I
I
mean,
agree. As a foundational Black American, I think the consensus that we have to move as a group literally leans into tribalism. America is not one group. Not even the BOK people here are monolith. So you may get 50 of us to see one thing, 50 of us to see another, 50 to see a whole nother. The only thing that's going to matter is what's on paper. So even though they had that group meeting, if BOK Americans aren't on the board, it'll be a no-go, particularly because the people asking for reparations are going to be asking for them from Black Americans. Like, it's kind of crazy the way it's set up. It has to be led from us. And so the reason why it hasn't been done up until now is because it's appealing in us. This cannot be led from anyone outside of us. And so I think that's going to be the consensus. Even if everyone else agreed, it's useless because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to us. And one thing I'm going to say, and give an example for me, I love Game of Thrones. We're kind of like Tyrion Lannister. He was like the runt of his family, and I don't mean we're runt, but he was the runt of his family, and they made fun of him between Jamie and his sister. For people who watch Game of Thrones, but he still was a Lannister. That's the point. So we're the only ones with lineage in this country. So whether we agree or not is up to us. But outsiders kind of mixing their point with us, our fights and our plights are completely different. So this is more of an in-house thing, and it absolutely has to come from the in-house.
okay, all right, Maga. If you and I are fighting on the same fight about the same thing, or if we are fighting about the same thing, can't we join forces? Are you
American?
Let me ask you this: can't we join forces if we are fighting about the same thing? If we have the same fight?
So the same thing, what that you're calling the same would be citizen versus non-citizen. What's happening is a lot of people who are non-citizens are linking up. At the end of the day, if this goes through, you're going to have Black Americans paying y'all, and that's crazy.
Okay.
Like the weight of slavery and all the things that are being discussed fall on Black Americans. So even though it's three women that don't agree,
that's not true.
At the end of the day, they're going to come to us for a solution.
Okay. She's been tribalism. Okay. All right. So then what are you fighting for then, MAGA? What is...
You said, what are we fighting for?
Yeah.
I'm MAGA.
Okay.
America.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So you're fighting for America? You fighting for...
Ma'am,
when you say MAGA, you talking about Make America Great Again?
Yeah, it's very difficult. I'm FBA on paper. Like if you go on my page, all my people go back to 17.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, but what are you... Yeah,
FBA
ask us
is going to be
something.
very tribal, and I'm not tribal, and I don't think America's tribal. There's no way to succeed in America as just BOK. And that ideology won't take you very far. It's going to get you so far, and then it's going to stop.
Okay, so, all right, Vicky, ask her the question, Vicky.
I have to ask you this, MAGA, because for Black MAGA, when Donald Trump says "Make America Great Again," and we know in recent time he has told government agencies that it's government contractors and those it's okay to have segregation. When he says "Make America Great Again," he's trying to take us backward. Mind you, the rest of the world is moving forward, but he's trying to take us back again, make us America great again. I'm asking you as, I don't know how you as a woman of color can support someone who's so fascist in his ideology. Okay. I'm trying to understand. I've heard a lot of FBA say that they support him. I can't.
We do. Okay, so here's the deal. And I use Tyrion Lannister for a reason. And that's because as BOK people, our experience in this country has all been different. Some of us are descendants of slaves. Some of us are not. Some of us are, like, it's all kind of stuff going on here. But for the most part, as Black Americans, we understand the country. And so even at its worst, like at the height of the worst of this country, it is still better than the countries that are asking for reparations right now. Like with all we've been through, this country, with all that we've been through, we are still 10 toes down better than the people asking for reparations for something they ain't even went through. You see what I'm saying? So however, whatever perspective you look at it, as an American, we still are better than any other country on this earth. So when he's saying make America great again, I don't think it's for America to be made great. I think it's for you. Fine. That's why I'm mad. I don't believe in proximity to anything, not even BLK. Like right now, I could very easily latch onto this Pan-Africanism thing. I'm America, not anybody else. Me. Which means I'll argue with y'all. Sometimes I'm arguing with Republicans. It don't make me no difference because I want to see what I want to see. And right now, I don't think this is right.
Well, if you don't mind, let me just make a comment to you. This is just a comment. You may not agree with me, which listening to you, I'm sure you won't. Make America great again. That slogan in itself means he wants to take America back to when we were a part of segregation, where we were separated, where life was not the way that it is today. I like the way the life is today. We have come a long way. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, so my mother was born in Columbus. Yeah, my mother remembers white and black water fountains. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is just consider that the Make America Great Again is so that they can do a undertone to tell you we need to go back to when brown people were not taking over. The reason for that slogan is because right now, brown people are educated and we are doing things in places where they don't want to see us. It actually is married to the other conversations. DEI, taking our nurses from professional. Wait, you got to hear it. You got to hear it because
I heard it a lot.
Okay, so what I'm saying is if you hear they're saying DEI when we know that no brown woman that I know don't already have a master's degree, maybe even two, to get into the jobs that they're in. Nobody is doing nepotism but the other people.
Right. But
nobody's doing nepotism but the other people.
His argument wasn't against us as a race, it was against the debt that's being collected.
Okay, that is absolutely not true.
The educational industrial complex taking advantage of this people, because it wasn't just our people that were impacted by that transfer in the professionalism. All colors of women and people in those.
No, a part of the entire conversation is also to oppress women to keep us in the house.
Oh man, well, some of us need to be in the house because our kids is doing kind of crazy, but that's not the right panel for this. This panel is about African Americans.
No.
So and that's what I mean.
We've become a threat.
At the end of the day, we're still Americans. We're still far better than almost anybody else. That's all I'm saying.
No. I agree that America is because even right now, we have immigrants that are on the line with us, on this panel with us. They are here in America because they're making a better life for themselves.
Yeah, we're a great country.
But we can agree to that and also still say that there is still some shit in the game. It's still there.
I mean, that's everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? All I'm saying, you asked about America Great Again, but that slogan.
Oh, what happened? Okay, hold on. Yeah, well, somebody said not all Americans are where they want to be. Okay, you are definitely a troll. You say that so many times at this point, you are a troll. No, not you, somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat. Okay, well, Vicky.
And one more thing before you go. Trump, I think just without a shadow of a doubt, his ability to address and enforce the 14th Amendment is huge. It would change this conversation completely. So I think that's like to ignore that and try to have this conversation when he says make America great again and in the same exact breath signs an executive order, puts his name on the line, his legacy on the line, for trying to identify who are descendants of slaves. That amendment alone being clarified would abolish the ability for anybody to come here and say, hey, we're Black American too. Like that amendment is basically addressing this issue.
I agree, and I don't think any of the immigrants. I don't think any of the countries are trying to be Black Americans. That's a false flag.
That's why so many Black Americans are actually kind of rising up. It's because it gives a feel like
I think it's a false fight. We
don't fight at all. And personally, I kind of feel like to get a lot of the stuff out because I think that this is an in-house thing. I think a lot of them, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, are cheap replacement labor. And so for us, it impacts us wholly.
Okay, how does it impact us?
Close the door. Sorry, y'all.
I want to hear your narrative of how does an immigrant from Ghana.
How we go through this right here on your panel? Because it ain't even, this is your panel. Do you mind or no?
You can keep going. Just answer this last question, y'all, and then I'm gonna close.
Yes, sir. Okay, so cheap replacement labor, and it's not a negative, but when you pay attention, and I follow Steve Bannon, so a lot of what I'm quoting, if I don't get it right, go look at Steve, he goes over it a lot. Like Stop Bessent, all those people came from Steve Bannon. And they're literally sitting in the White House right now. But basically, there is a corporation agreement with illegal immigration through HB1 visas. Where, and I'm not talking about illegal immigration. Like everybody else is hyper-focused on illegal. I'm talking about legal. Like, and that impacts all of these different people that are brought here by corporations and paid a lower wage a lot of times. They're paid through subsidies. So there's an identification between the government, the corporations, and immigrants to bypass middle America. They don't have to pay them benefits. And they operate as an indentured servants because if they ever step out of line, they lose their job and they also lose their permission to be in this country. That's what I mean by cheap replacement labor. That takes over for veterans. That takes over for college students that are going to party top dollar. Take over for veterans.
Wait,
That takes over for college students that are going to top dollar.
Wait, Vicky, there's an echo. There's an echo on your
Is
side.
that me?
Yeah. No, that was Vicky. There's an echo.
Okay.
All right.
They don't have to pay veterans top dollar. They don't have to pay college kids
Wait,
top dollar.
Vicky, there's an echo on your side. So Too Sweet, you can respond to her. You can respond to her, Too Sweet, and then we close out.
Okay, thank you so much for letting me respond to that. I don't respectfully. I can't relate because all of my immigrants that I am.
H-1B visa. Look it up.
All of my immigrant family and friends that are from, they are all educated professionals. I don't know about this labor thing. That's something.
But when you bring someone here on a visa, it's because we don't have that education here. When you
Okay, so the people that I know apply for their own visas and it costs them.
But that visa could have, instead of that visa, because there is a cooperation between the corporation to pay less money, no benefits, and there's a subsidized part from the government. So there's a corporation that in a cooperation between the government, the corporation, and the immigrant. That job, if whoever they went to get, if there's a veteran or a college student that could have did the same job for more money, benefits, and guaranteed American citizen rights, then they should have gotten the job. And who cares what the corporation has to pay? They're bypassing us to hire them because they're cheaper. And we're not saying they're not smart. They are. However, it is impacting us.
So, Magda, what you're saying is if we don't have those people in America, they're going to hire us. Is that what you're saying?
No, they ain't got no choice.
Okay. Absolutely not. That's not going to happen.
Well, the other part is Trump makes it very difficult through tariffs to take your business offshore. Like it's a coordinated effort to draw everything back to America and make America great again.
Okay, so I think
it all works together.
I think you're in a silo because you got to listen to what's happening outside of America so you can understand that he's not making America great again. He's making America alone again. That's what he's doing.
No.
Okay.
He's just putting us back in our spot. Now that we're going to disagree politically, but again, that's not what the channel was about. I'm just exercising my right as a black
I get it. But I do think that right now it's about FBA. Can't Africans represent you too? If we can't even get to an understanding of who we are, there's no way an African. So
we're American. And the reason why it works like that is because at the end of the day, whether you in Mississippi or I'm in Cali, we can do this about gas. Californians, with their crazy tails, feel like we need special gas. And we want everybody else in the country to use the kind of crazy gas we use. We don't even want y'all using gas. We want you using electric. It's the same fight. But at the end of the day, who cares? We're Americans. That's all I'm saying is, we're going to fight here, but we can't have outsiders. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like how it is politically. You're bringing in outside people to agree with you. Half the FBA ain't going to go for this.
Okay, but the problem is we don't have anybody representing us as a people.
To get what they want?
So who would you select to represent us as a people? Who is
At
it?
FBA, nobody represents me. Not to
Okay.
reach
Okay.
nobody
All right. All right.
represents me.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
The reason why we have our own lineage as Americans, nobody represents us. We vote, and that's the representation. My
Okay.
lineage, my paperwork represents me.
All right. Thank you, Maga. Thank you.
As a group.
All right. Thank you, Maga. All right. We have to close right there. Thank you for your closing thoughts. Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Too Sweet, for coming up. And
Welcome.
yeah, that was nice.
Next time. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you guys next time. Have a good night, y'all. So for me, it's nighttime. I don't know for you guys. Maybe it might be daytime still, but enjoy your evening. Have a good night. And I'll see you guys later. Guys, if you haven't followed my account as yet, you can follow my account and you can check my page.